It's the full moon today, and I just got off a full moon circle sort of retreat workshop type situation. And what was being taught there was that if motivation feels sluggish, and you don't feel super motivated to do the kind of like adulting that you have to do, try and find that inner child, that sort of deeper psyche place, creative place, and ask what that part of you needs. I'm speaking today with someone who I admire because she really puts herself out there. I don't know how long she's been doing this, but she calls herself the friendly neighborhood motivator. She creates videos about getting a DUI, her breakups, threesomes, all kinds of stuff. So I feel we can bring her on and kind of give ourselves a splash of fresh air or cold water and kind of shake people up. And I'm titling this, Get Yourself Out There, Being Your Colorful Self. The theme this week is color. Yay, Gazella, I'm glad you'll be right back. And here is Ashley Collins.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
What's going on?
Hey girl, hey, I forgot that I did that. No wonder no one will hire me.
Are you job searching right now?
Yeah.
Everyone. I've noticed this week, like there are these people that are like in such high demand that are like editing resumes for people. And I'm starting to see them as these like spiritual guides that like are coming in and people need them. And like, it really matters how they talk to all of us if we have the opportunity to talk to one of them. But they're going, people are trying to like get themselves back out there. Do you feel that?
I mean, I'm just trying to find a job that like is not what's a snake oil salesman, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like they promise you one thing and then like it's like total opposite, you know? So,
Like
yeah.
the job is promising you something and then it's totally different.
Completely different, yeah. But that was such an awesome intro. Thank you.
That's so true. With the snake oil salesman, we also want to avoid these jobs where we have to be like snake oil salesmen, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So when did you start making these brave videos that you do?
Oh, brave. Gosh, that's a, I feel like I feel like that's such a strange word to say. But I don't know what year. I keep trying to pinpoint a year. I want to say I've been doing this for 5 years now.
And what was the first story you told where you were like, all right, this is a little edgy. This is a little bit like different than what I would normally talk about on the internet?
So I was always on social media, but my main primary background is in theater. I was mainly doing it to say, hey, I'm doing a show this weekend, come see it. But other than that, like I never really like was very heavy into it. And I was in a relationship for 3 years, and then it abruptly ended. And you know how they say like when you have a very broken heart, you should like write down your feelings. I don't write because I don't enjoy it. You know,
You
like even now
perform.
people are like, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, even now people are like, oh, you should write down your affirmations. I don't write them down.
Mhm.
So I picked up my camera and every day for like 3 months I just checked in with myself, but I never uploaded it the day of. I just did it just because.
Mhm.
So one night on the 4th of July, I just uploaded all of them because I had no more space in my phone and I accidentally made them public, but people were receptive to it. I was like, why don't I just keep going?
Yeah.
And it's not a very exciting story. I'm sorry.
You have a series called The Breakup. Is it the Breakup series?
The Breakup Diaries,
The
yeah.
Breakup Diaries. And the person you dated, do you think he or she has seen this?
Oh, he's seen it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's seen it. Yeah.
What kind of feedback? First of all, do you want to just give us like a quick summary of what goes on in the Breakup Diaries?
Yeah, so it's documenting my my journey from hating myself to slowly starting to like myself. Love is a very strong word for me right now. I just want to like myself. So documenting my dating journey, my job search journey, trying to embrace the arts again, trying to get along with my family again. And it's so funny that you say that, because I also invite guests on like the way that you do.
Yeah.
I'm not as consistent as you are though. Like I have no idea how you do this every day. But yeah, we talk about sex too. My lack of sex life. Um, but the guy who I created the channel for, he was just recently on my channel a couple of months ago, and
Wait, the guy that you had broken up with? Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. Was that like a healing moment to have him back?
it was. It really was that we were just both so young and so broken. We should not have gotten a relationship together. But now he's on a different path, I'm on a different path, and like we talk every now and then, but it's never like in hopes of like getting back together. It's more of like, hey, are you getting your act right?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How would somebody know if they hate themselves?
Selves.
Don't feel that they love themselves? Like how are people supposed to know that in the first place? Because you apparently found that out about yourself.
Oh my God, super easy. For me at least. For myself, getting up every morning, can you look in the mirror? I can't. Even now. And I put my makeup on every day, but I don't make eye contact with myself. So I don't know what I look like. Even now I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking at the camera.
You're making me think. I mean, it's a really good question. So that's one thing. It's like, all right, you guys, when you wake up in the morning, when you look in the mirror, do you sustain eye contact with yourself? So these days, when you look in the mirror, what do you do?
I just do my routine, but I don't look at myself.
But now that you've healed yourself and you love or you like yourself,
Ooh, no, I'm not healed.
but you're better, your mirror behavior is better than at the beginning.
It is better. It is better, yes. Because after my last relationship, I got into another relationship, and then he left. So now I'm just currently doing that process all over again.
All right. So how else do
Yeah.
people know if they're not good with themselves, if they don't have a good relationship with themselves? What are the other signs?
So I think that I find this very ironic that people are very restless during COVID, because they're like, I need to be around people. And whereas with me, I'm fine. If we did this quarantine for the next 5 years, I'd be fine. And that's not good. I don't crave hugs. I don't crave being around people. I want to be by myself. And I already know that's not a good thing.
Got you. I see you as very like virtually extroverted. So I feel
Yeah.
you like get your energy from the internet, and so you don't feel alone. Is that not true?
I'm a huge extrovert. I'm a massive extrovert in real life too. Like I go to the gas station and I spark a conversation with a stranger. But right now in my life, I'm having a hard time being like, what do you want from me? Like, is this a trap that you're trying to get? Are you trying to get into bed with me? That way you can leave me as well.
Okay, so dating, so you are in this deep process of healing how you date. And that's part of what you do on your video series is you like
Yeah,
expose all the aspects of what makes it hard to be in love,
yeah.
to be in relationship. What have
Hmm.
you
And
discovered?
even in friendships as well, though.
Yeah.
Because like the mutual friends that we had, they were like, oh, you guys are so good together. You guys are so great together. They're not talking behind your back. And it's like, oh, you were lying the whole time. So like, who can I trust? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I had that experience the other day. I think with
Oh
heartbreak, there is
no.
that feeling of like a loss of trust. How do we
Yeah.
repair when we feel that? What has helped you to repair from that loss of trust?
Setting boundaries massively, asking questions. um Body language is, I'm a huge body language person. Like, you can say whatever you want to me, but if you like twitch a certain way, if you blink a certain way, if you like move your hands a certain way, I'm like, oh, you're lying. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You
What
already
kinds
said
of
enough.
questions do you ask? What are good questions to ask?
So most recently, I'm trying to, and I want you to be involved in this as well, but we'll talk about this another time. I'm trying to come up with this like this video compilation because you know the motivational videos in the mornings that you or afternoons or evenings that you listen to, like go get it, da 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 da. I want to like create my own, but like not with celebrities, with like everyday people like you and I, right? And I was talking to my friend about it, and I asked them once. Oh, that's so funny. He just jumped in, but
Who is
but I
this?
asked the guy we're talking about.
Oh, Taylor, what's up? Okay, so this
Yeah.
is okay. Well, that's great. This is the community.
Yes, yeah. But
Everyone's healing.
yes, we're all healing. But yeah, so I asked them, do you think this is a good idea? And they said, yes, of course. And I said, and I asked them another question. What did I ask them specifically? I forget what the question I asked, but it was a very specific question. It wasn't an open-ended question. And they answered it non-open-ended. And I was like, oh, that means that they're being honest.
Because they answered an open-ended question in what kind of way?
Not in a yes or a no.
That they went into detail.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, interesting. So, for instance, if I asked you, how are you doing? You would give me a detailed response, and that would give me a little more confidence in you.
Yes, yes, as opposed to being like, I'm okay.
Right, like withdrawing.
Yeah,
It kind of brings me back to that point you made when I asked you, hey, how do you know if you're not in good relationship with yourself? And you said one of the things is if you are in the pandemic and you don't want to hang out with people, like you're not craving that in-person connection. What is that? Is that kind of being like shut off? Is it just saying to yourself, oh, it's easier to be on my own?
yeah. It's kind of like you know those movies where the person's in a cabin in the woods in the snow by themselves. It's like you really shouldn't because like we really are like we're wolf packs. We're lions dens. We're supposed to be in packs together. We're not supposed to be by ourselves. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like that's why people are so sad. Why people are harming themselves right now. Like we didn't realize that we need each other. You know,
Mm-hmm.
human connection is so freaking important.
So what do you think of this whole like movement that Lizzo has been part of that's like independent woman, don't need a partner? What do you think of that?
I wish it would stop.
Because you think you want to emphasize relationships and that we need relationships.
Yes, I do think that there's hurt people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and if for me Oprah is my god. You know what I'm saying? So if Oprah said stop wearing socks, I'm not wearing socks anymore. You know? So when people like Lizzo, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj say men aren't crap, people are going to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that I think once Cardi B made a video, she was like, I'm not anybody's role model, so don't look up to me. I'm just living my life. You didn't sign up for this role, but you have it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And I do think that it's important to know your worth as a woman. Of course, don't sell yourself short. Definitely not. But don't say that I swear I'm never going to touch a male body ever again for the rest of my life. Because you'll be on your deathbed at 67 be like, I wish someone was here with me holding my hand rather than the nurse.
I like that the deathbed is going to happen at 67 if you don't have love.
That's so specific.
So what do you love? What has Oprah taught you?
The seed. I think it was the pumpkin seed where I forget what specific seed she said, but how a tiny seed can grow something massive, right? And a tree can grow as right now I'm from my government job, I'm selling solar panels and they emphasize to us, no, you have plenty of time, Dragon Rose. I like your name, Dragon. I like that. You have plenty of time. But hey Tay, what's up, homie? He has a fantastic photography page. I didn't know he took pictures. But Tay the one, go follow him. He takes beautiful photos.
Nice.
But at my job they always say to us, if the person has trees, they can't qualify for solar panels because trees grow, right? And that's been on my mind constantly lately, that like we're always growing, right? And even if something happens, like even if we feel stuck, we're still going to grow sideways, and then we're still going to grow upwards,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So even if your tree's a little,
So when
I
you
don't know if I
say
answered
like
your
if people
question.
have trees, hey, if you say like when people have trees, you can't sell solar panels, is that because the trees are going to shade the sun?
Yeah,
So
it's
even
going
if
to
someone
shade your
has,
roof.
so if people have trees around their house, your company won't sell solar panels to them?
Unless they're open to getting the trees removed, but then like trees are very expensive to get rid of.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know.
Don't most people have trees around their house?
Not really. It's mainly in like Texas. It's mainly in Texas and Florida, mainly primarily. Everywhere else like California, like they've gotten rid of everything green there. So
Oh my God.
that sounds so bad. That sounds so bad. Sorry.
So I put a comment here, getting yourself out there, being your colorful self. And you are someone who put yourself out there. Like you didn't accidentally have a spotlight. You put it right on yourself. And it was part of what you did to heal, right? Like you were in a dark place and you decided to record yourself every day. How has that
Yeah.
journey been?
The first word that came to mind was stressful. Like I feel like I don't have any secrets. I feel very exposed. Um, which can and can't be a good thing. Where it's like I do like my privacy. I would like to keep some kind of secrets, like, but yeah, it's sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable.
Was it like a decision? What inspired it? Where you were like, I'm going to tell a lot about my life online.
It it was more like, what's the word? It's more like a purge, where it's like if I say this, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't have to think about it anymore. Literally every video that I've done, I don't remember what I said, because I don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And if something's on my mind, I don't really have a scheduling plan. I literally just wake up every morning and I'm like, what's bothering you? And I'm like, I need to
Yes.
talk about it.
I heard you say that. You did a post that was like, how should you come up with content? And you had a really interesting philosophy, which you shared, which you said, I mean, you can tell people, you were saying, ask yourself what's making you uncomfortable and then share about that.
Yeah. I just ask myself every morning, what do you need to get off of your chest? And then I don't remember it anymore.
And is that a liberating process?
Oh my God, yeah. It feels so light.
So what about somebody who has never done this before? How can they start?
I get that. So like I was saying before, my background is in theater and film. So I get that a lot from people who are like, how do I get started? Because I'm nervous on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very insensitive when I'm like, turn the camera on.
Mm-hmm.
Turn the camera on, but you don't have to be, you can have it like on the wall, or you can have a black screen. I have a friend, Portia Berry. She posts, but she has captions and she puts music in the background, and that's how she purges her feelings. you
Mm-hmm.
know
Like you don't need
and
to
I
be
think
doing it
that,
verbally. You can
yeah,
just
yeah,
move. You can do it in lots of ways. That's good to remember.
yeah. And I think that if we exposed our demons to each other more often, like our insecurities, life would be so much easier, as opposed to showing the pretty stuff, like the nice poses and stuff like that. If we showed the ugly sides of life more often, it wouldn't be as stressful.
Mm-hmm. Did you grow up with parents or guardians that showed you some of the, like more vulnerable parts of being alive?
My my mom and my aunts don't cry. They literally cannot cry. I've never seen them cry ever before in my life.
So where did you get this expressive?
I'm trying to figure that out. Present tense. I am trying to figure out why I'm so sensitive. Because even my older brother doesn't cry. My older sister cries a lot, but that's a different story. My little brother doesn't cry. I am so, so, so sensitive. The littlest thing makes me cry. And then I got into theater and like everyone wanted to cast me because it's like, oh, Ashley, well, she's the emotional one, so like I'm gonna cast her in this play.
Because you
But
could
I'm
just like
trying to
cry
figure
on
out why.
demand in plays.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I'm still trying to figure out what about me is because I come from we don't have a lot of men in my family. It's primarily female dominated, and I'm trying to. So we have a very like the stereotypical strong black woman family. So I'm trying to figure out why I'm the sensitive one.
But you embrace it.
I don't like it, but I do embrace it. I would like to be the strong, independent woman like Michelle Obama or Kamala Harris, who's like sitting there. I would like that.
But if you act that way, you feel suppressed.
I feel like I'm lying, and I'm
Yeah.
trying not to be a liar anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was such a good liar. Oh my God. Even now, like, even now I tell little white lies, very tiny white lies, and I'm like, why did you do that?
So much awareness. You mentioned motivational videos. Do you, or like audio, is that part of your life right now? Do you listen? And what do you listen to?
So every morning that I wake up, I love my morning routine.
Yeah. Tell
So
us.
every morning that I wake up, I do the Wim Hof breathing method. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah. I know it like in relation to doing like a cold plunge. Do you do like a cold shower or something?
Cold shower every morning for the past, is it 4 years now?
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's been 4 years now, but I've been taking cold showers every morning. Um, I used to go on a jog in the mornings, but that's been cut off because my work schedule was earlier. But I go to the gym, listen to motivational video. I have to listen to at least a 10-minute motivational video, and then I listen to at least 20 minutes of comedy to
Wait, what?
like
I
tell
missed
myself to
that
chill
last
out.
part. What did you say? You do what?
Um, a 10-minute motivational video and at least 20 minutes of comedy, stand up, 20-minute comedic set, podcast, at least 20 minutes while I'm doing my makeup. So it's a mess while I'm doing my
Yeah.
makeup. and then get with my day.
And what recommendations do you have for motivational videos that you think are really great that work for you?
Eddie Pinero every day.
Eddie Pinero.
Eddie Pinero every day. Tattoo that across my chest till the day I die. Um, Eddie Pinero. Who else? Who else? Oh, and his page is called Your World Within. Um, 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 who else did I listen to? Recently, I've been really hooked on Andrew Huberman. He's a scientist. Have you heard of him?
You're breaking up a little bit. Andrew Huberman?
Yes, Andrew Huberman. He's a scientist who relates science to motivational, but it makes logical sense.
Very cool.
So I've been really hooked on him. Yeah. And then yeah.
Andrew
Those two my
Huberman.
main
I'm just
main
gonna
my
write
main
down how I
recommendations.
think those are spelled. So you have this combination of like a motivational video and then something that makes you laugh. And so this is the way you get really bright in the morning. Is that the effect?
Yeah. Yeah. That counts. Yeah.
Dragon Rose is saying you have male guides who honor your spirit. Dragon Rose
Oh.
is like a psychic.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting that you say that because my dad died. So that's very interesting that you say that.
Yeah. Is that sort of part of your journey? Is like you mentioned you were raised by a lot of women essentially. Like, is it kind of coming into relationship with like masculine energy?
I wouldn't say that that's intentional.
Your soul work.
It's interesting that you say that.
Yeah. So it's the full moon today.
Is that today?
Who was that?
My mom. Always
Ah.
yelling. Always yelling.
Do you do morning routines together? Like, do you have a part of your morning that involves your mom?
No. She comes in the room and wakes me up. That's the routine. I don't need an alarm. The
And
screamings wake me up.
and what do you think of being colorful? What does that mean to you, being a colorful personality?
So I don't know if you've heard the play For Color Girls. Have you heard of that play?
No.
So it's a play called For Color Girls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Is Enough, written by Ntozake Shange. And I've done the show twice. Yes, twice. I've done the majority of the monologues all my life. And when you mention that, I think about that because there's 7 characters in the play. They all represent the rainbow, and they're talking about life as a colored girl and how you have to deal with the strain of love and work and just let me say a quote from there. But being alive and being colored and being a woman is a metaphysical metaphor I have not figured out yet. And I'm still trying to figure it out.
That's the line.
Yeah.
And,
That last, yeah.
and so every character is a different color in the rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
So when you perform this, is it like a very colorful stage?
No. Every time I perform it, it's been a very simple set. Just a couple of chairs here and there. The woman is dressed in her color. And they do monologues from different female perspectives. Like one of the characters, one of the most popular monologues, for those of you who probably know, Tyler Perry ruined this movie. And one of the main characters is Lady in Red. And spoiler alert, and she's in an abusive relationship. And he comes inside the house and he threatens to throw the kids out the window. And he asks her, "Do you love me?" And she says yes, but he still throws the kids out the window.
Wow.
Yeah.
What else happens in the play?
Another thing that happens, it talks about rape. It talks about growing up, and one of the characters that I played was like this young child, and she was talking about being in love with Toussaint Louverture, who was a Haitian leader, and how she wanted a man like Toussaint who was strong and brave, and just the hopefulness of being a young, and I've been feeling this a lot lately, like this kind of icky feeling where it's like I thought being adult would be very different because being a child, I look at all these leaders and I'm like, I'm going to be a leader like them. And it's like, oh, none of you guys have your stuff together, you know? Like, so why don't we display that? Why don't we display as adults, hey guys, none of us have us together, but you're still the future, but help us build the future together.
Mm-hmm. So one of your dreams is that people would show more of the colorful aspects of their life, that they wouldn't just kind of put on a single tone and walk through the day in one tone.
Yeah. Oh, that was really good.
Is that
Oh my
kind of
gosh,
one of your, I'm
that
feeling
was
that
really good.
dream for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, show all the colors of your rainbow.
That's truth. I love it. And Taylor, your friend is saying if you could watch Ashley's performance in that play, Grammy winner. So what is going on with theater during the pandemic? Are you performing virtually?
I'm not performing right now. I've been thinking about performing some monologues, but then I'm like, should I?
No, but I think you should.
Really?
This is what was happening in the full moon circle that I just came from. It was basically, they were basically describing how people right now are feeling sort of unmotivated to like adult. Like everybody's feeling pressure about like paying rent, paying bills. So people are like starting to job search and all this stuff, but there's like limited motivation there. And what apparently this full moon is encouraging us to do is like look at the child within, the like deeply creative child, and like let that part of us express, even if it doesn't make sense. So I feel like
Yeah,
that's the part of you that's like, I want to do monologues. I mean, what is that back talk that you have when you say like, but I don't think I should?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't I don't know. I don't know.
I broke it down for myself because I was having something like, you know,
What do you want to do?
like this morning I spent time like, I really don't. Okay, so I started this talk show at the start of the pandemic, and I want to keep going with it. And I want to keep like serving the community and like using my skills to like platform creative people and not, have
Yeah.
to go work for like a tech giant or something like that. Like, I don't want to I think my skill set deserves to be like in the hands of the people, and like being
Yeah.
serving the community. So I'm currently like looking for sponsors for my talk show. And this morning I drafted this sponsor proposal, and towards the end of it my motivation started to like wane a little bit because I was feeling like a sense of, someone will ask me like, what if I get asked a question and I can't answer it, like about metrics or like, and so I started to realize being that child self, it's like we need to push ourselves to act even when things aren't perfect. And we do that. Like that's what your show is all about. Like you don't demand perfection of yourself. You like put it out there, and it's been this amazing process. But somehow right now it's like you want to do a monologue, but there's this other like demanding adult part of you that's like, oh, it doesn't make sense, or maybe it'll get judged. That's kind of what I feel, is like we have to like keep nurturing that inner creative.
Yeah. I need it.
You are doing it. You're an example of it.
Thank you.
You said that when you're creating content, you ask yourself what you need to get off your chest. What was like the last thing you worked with? Like, did you do one today? Did you do one yesterday?
Did a what?
Did you create a video of getting something off your chest like recently that you
Oh
could?
yeah, I did. Yeah, I
Can
did
you
one
give
today.
people like tell us what you did today so people have
Oh
examples?
God. Today the theme is what's my type?
And it's about your relationship type, the person you're looking for
Yeah.
romantically.
Yeah, I went on my stories and I went on my Facebook and I was like, what do you guys think my type is? And the answers were hilarious. So
People told you what they thought.
yeah.
Did any of them like ring really true? Did someone say something where you were like, that is
Oh my
really,
God, they're all true.
they're all true?
Yeah.
Wow. So you like,
Yeah.
you have sort of a community that understands you.
Yeah, I guess I do. I guess I do.
I mean, first
I
of all,
didn't
I
think
feel
about
like
that.
not everybody is going to ask questions on their stories and get answers. Like just the fact that you got a bunch of answers, I think shows you how supported you are.
I guess I never thought about that. You're really good at this.
Aw. Well, it's nice to have like a commitment, like you show up no matter what. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, like there's no possibility to connect.
Where are you from?
I'm from New York. What about you?
Oh, word. Okay, so I'm in Florida, so we're in the same time zone. Okay, cool, cool.
Now I'm in California, but I was raised in New York.
Oh, where are you in California?
San Francisco.
Are you planning on staying there with the pandemic and everything?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your background? Are you an actor?
You know, no, I'm not I mean, I've acted a little bit, but no, I've been a journalist for a while.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dragon Rose is saying the person has to use their voice to express love.
That's what I'm trying to do. Love is such a weird word.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out what it really
what
means.
do you think of it these days?
I think it's love is like mm, love is like a bowl of soup, where it's like people are just throwing things in there and fighting words right there. Taylor Made Music 91. If you're watching this replay, just said go Jets. But I want everyone to go on his page and say go Bucks because we're gonna win the Super Bowl this weekend. But but I think that whatever ingredients that you throw in there, it's for you. Like not everyone's going to want to eat from your bowl of soup, and that's okay. But I think that, and I also think that we're such a generation of Disney movies that we think that the guy who smiles at us around the corner is meant for us. Very guilty, by the way. I'm very guilty of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But you have no idea how many people are on this planet. What if the person in Australia is meant for you? Like we get so obsessed with this one person and then we spend thousands of dollars in therapy for this one person. It's like, bruh, you haven't met every person on this planet yet. Chill out. Chill out, relax. They broke your heart, cool. Pray about it, meditate about it, talk to a person here and there about it. But there's so many other people on this planet that will do you right. They're gonna eat your soup.
I like that. Somebody needs to hear that, I'm sure, right now. I mean, it's a relaxing thing to hear for all of us because it helps us to be less sort of drilled into what we need to be happy, right?
Yeah.
Truth, be open, be love.
Dragon Rose, did you add me? I was gonna say add me on Facebook. You can add me on Facebook, but can you add me on IG? Because I want to get a reading. You said she does reading? He does reading? She does reading?
Probably, yeah. You guys should connect for sure.
I would like a reading.
What does your mom think about your like public performances where you talk
Oh my
about
goodness.
everything?
Oh my gosh. They always say, why are you telling people about your business? Verbatim. They always say, don't tell people about your business, Ashley. But mm, I have a very private family,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the first performer. Yes, yes, the
Mm-hmm.
first performer in my family.
And what was it like as a little girl? Like, I mean, they must have nurtured that in you in some ways, right? Because this is what you became.
They entertained it, but then when it came for college, they were like, "You really don't want to do this, right?" But so I get it when parents or family isn't in the audience coming to support you. I'm like, oh, why is that not big? It's not that big of a deal for me when family or like close friends don't support your content now. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. Like I'm can you imagine like being a kid and your family is in the audience? Like I'm like, I don't need you to like my content, mom. Like that's fine. Keep it moving. Like I'm
Yeah.
used to it now. Like so I feel like everything I've went through has helped me develop thick skin for this.
I was wondering, like, how have people responded to your videos? Like, what kinds of comments do you get? Like, how is the reception and how does it feel?
That's so funny that you say that. So when I first started doing this, the big rule is reply to everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was so good at that. Girl, I would not look up from my phone all day. Right? I would reply to everything. I was also doing like video replies and stuff like that. Girl, I was so on point. And then the last dude that I dated, I stopped vlogging for a year, right? And then he left. And then I started slowly getting back into it, and I got annoyed with people.
Like
So
comments.
I was talking to a friend, and I was like, I don't know what to do. They're like, you don't have to reply to everything, you know that, right? And I was like, no, like I have to. Like I'll be a bad person. And they're like, you don't have to. So I stopped. I reply when I get a chance, but I don't feel obligated to. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what my metrics look like at all. I don't know how many followers I have.
There's a couple who just joined who are like musicians that sail around the world. So I feel like most people, they don't post content every day. They do it like once in a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What are you doing currently?
Every day.
And why is that important to you?
It's therapy. It's massive therapy. Getting stuff on my chest, keeping my commitments. When I have my interviews, there is no, I don't feel good today, so I'm just gonna take the day off. Like, no, I made a commitment to you,
Mm-hmm.
to Marguerite, that I'm gonna be here, so I'm gonna be here.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I don't look at the metrics, I don't look at the numbers, I don't look at the comments. If I do, it's because of someone I interviewed said something, and I want to show my gratitude to them. But other than that, it's like I'm just doing this for me, which sounds selfish, but if I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
That is part of my experience too, of like, there is something nice about doing it every day. And you show up no matter what. And the conversations
Yeah.
are like very real because they come out of whatever's really going on.
Who were you talking to once? Oh my God, who was that? The artist. That's not specific because you talk to artists all the time.
What were they
she
like?
was she was a it was a she, obviously. And she had a ponytail, and I think she was a brunette, and she built stuff, but and you're an artist too, aren't you?
Writer.
Yeah, and you guys were like bonding over that, and I was like, this is just like I really enjoy listening to like artists like communicate with each other, because like for me it's like, can you imagine if like Van Gogh and Shakespeare were in the room together? Can you imagine that conversation? And I feel like we're doing that now, but I feel like we don't really appreciate it because we're like, oh, you only have 10 followers, you're not important, you know?
No, I appreciate you. I don't remember what it was. I think I went on your page and I just saw that you were being brave. And that was like 100% enough to pique my interest. Like the stuff, I mean, tell people like the range of things that you are open to talking about and that you talk about on your videos.
Um, so I've talked about my rape. I've talked about my mom's mental illness. I've talked about, obviously, about my breakup. I've talked about getting fired several times.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about my chronic UTI story. Um, yeah, you mentioned it. I've been through it, and like I was saying, I feel like I just like dip my toe in this, but I really want to emphasize that Sophocles was a joke during his time, right? Harriet Tubman was a radical during her time, you know? So these people that you see who are going live, like these people are historical, but we don't appreciate it because like we're so fixated on Tekashi 6ix9ine and his latest scandal. You know what I'm saying? We're literally witnessing history, but we're being oblivious because like
Mm-hmm.
we're we're so distracted. So we should really pay attention to our artist friends because they're making history. And remember, people didn't read Shakespeare until like years after his death. So do you want to be that person who didn't read your friend's work until years after their death? I don't. Oh my God, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
A lot of people like have talked about scrolling through their Instagram feed as this like unhealthy thing. And one thing I do that helps me is like I see it as my time to support people. Like the reason I scroll is to like give support to the people who are doing cool things and putting themselves out there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so crazy. It's so insane how talented people are.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
Who do you love? Like, can you tell us someone who you feel is so talented and you wish people knew?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Who? Oh my gosh. So, I have so many names. Well, obviously, like TaylorMade. He's an artist, and he makes such fire bangers. Who else? Who else? Oh, I have so many comedian friends. The first one who comes to mind is AJ Comedy. He does such a sick Gary Vee impression, and Jordan Peterson. Ryan Goldshire does such a great Matthew McConaughey impersonation. Oh my gosh, I have a nail tech friend, Jazz Queen Lioness. I don't know how these, what's the word called? The nail people and the hair people, what are they called? Cosmetologists?
Uh-huh.
I don't know how they have the patience to do the work that they do, but I think that's so admirable. Who else? Who else? Who else? Paula Dencourt is all about being healthy. And I always feel like such a hypocrite whenever I eat chips because I'm like, Paula wouldn't like this. But she's always like, guys, just take care of your immune system during this pandemic, then you won't get sick. But I have some, Joe Brown, such a great musician, podcaster, very controversial, but like I like that we can have discussions. But yeah, I enjoy scrolling through my feed because I'm distracted with good distractions as opposed to being like people cutting their toenails,
Right.
which people
Like
do.
I
Yeah.
feel like when I feel it's like such a new agey thing to say and we're like on technology talking about technology and you know whatever there's so much meta shit going on but like your feed is a reflection of you and if you don't
Oh
like what's
wow.
going on there it's kind of like when people are like I just don't like being on Instagram because it's all these like people in fancy outfits. I'm like change it up for yourself. Like that's what you
Exactly.
selected to follow.
E- exactly.
So it sounds like you follow a lot of comedians, you follow a lot of artists. Is there anyone who you feel models that kind of like courage that you have modeled for others?
Oh, Sierra Day. I feel like Sierra Day, she's like literally the light version of me. I'm the dark version of me, pun intended. Because she's so massively vulnerable. And I remember coming across her page and I was like, she's me. This is me. Like, we're doing
Whoa.
literally the same thing. Yeah, she's so vulnerable. What's up, Prince? Oh, he's another one right there. Yeah. Such a dope artist. Like, oh, he's such a good freestyler. I tried to do a freestyle the other day and I was like, don't post this. But I'm like, no, you know what? Post it to show that you tried, but don't do it. But
I think I saw
but
that. You were saying,
yeah.
yeah, you were like, I'm not a rap artist, so like bear with me. And I thought that was
Yes.
amazing.
But yeah, I try to follow people. Mm, I just try to follow the cool kids.
So what do like let's say someone out there is listening to this and they've been raped, they've gotten a ton of UTIs, they've like most of the things you mentioned we've all been through. Really bad breakup, been fired, whatever. Like they're out there, they're suffering, they're hearing you talk. Like why should they consider creating a channel for themselves where they're able to speak this stuff out loud?
So I've been following a lot of doctors, like real life doctors. I'm not talking about health gurus. No offense for someone who's watching this, but I've been following a lot of actual doctors, right? Dr. Mike, Andrew Huberman, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. But something that we all falsely believe is that everything that's happening to you is the first thing that's ever happened. No one's ever been through this. No one understands you. No one understands your pain. That's highly inaccurate, massively inaccurate. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you talk about this out loud, not only are you not helping, you're helping someone feel like they're not alone, one, but also you're helping them get the help that they need. Because with my chronic UTI story, that was 3 years of unnecessary pain. I should have gone to a doctor. And when I did my post, all the comments were like, go to a doctor, go to a doctor, go to a doctor. I had no idea, but I was so embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you talk about your rape, you know, you think that you were the only one who got drunk and you don't remember the person's face. There's someone at that party who knows who did that to you. Don't wait years to talk about it. Identify that person, you know, talk about it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because not as a revenge thing, you know, not to punish someone, but maybe that person just needs help, psychological help, you know, that way they don't do that to the next person. And that sounds like such a apologetic thing, but like hurt people, like I said earlier, hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
So if we just stop being so ashamed, we could help each other just by talking out loud and not with confusion.
Yeah.
And like going to professionals. And like I said, no diss to these health gurus and stuff like that, but at some point you're gonna have to go to a professional who studied this for years.
So what's the difference if there's someone out there and they're suffering with something that they don't talk about? What's the difference between talking to a close friend or talking to the public?
It's kind of like, do you want comfort or do you want solutions? Because I can comfort you. It's okay. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I can't give you solutions though.
Mm-hmm. And the public has been really helpful in helping.
Comfort. I'm super good at comforting you.
And it sounds like helping you find solutions.
Yeah. Helping you get the sources to find the solutions.
So you posted like stories about how much you were suffering with these UTIs, and people would tag like resources in the comments. Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. And you didn't have like a huge following at that point. You just like used the right hashtags.
I don't use hashtags. I used to.
So it was like kind of through like friends who.
Not my friends. I guess their friends. I guess the fact that I typed in UTI, I guess the whole internet universe, it gravitated to them. I used to use hashtags. I'm not very good at social media like I used to be. Like I said, like I used to be super hardcore, but then I was like, let's just don't worry about getting 1 million followers. Let's just focus on the one. My main goal is every day just focus on the one. So if that one person happens to fall upon that, then yeah. And I never ask for like, follow, subscribe, share, because like I said this before in a post, and the internet's not new. People know to like, comment, share, subscribe, save. Stop acting like people are stupid. You know, like they already know to do that. You know, like, if they like it, they'll like it. If they don't, they don't. Move on. Carry on. You know?
It's so true. It's so true. So many people are like, subscribe if you like my channel. But you're right. The internet's not new.
Yeah.
What feels new right now? What are the things we need to, be teaching each other about?
App-wise, Clubhouse. I have no idea. Are you on Clubhouse?
I am. And actually, Stella, who's here, we were talking. Some people are really into it right now, but whenever I go in, I personally like video a little more than audio. So those audio chats, they don't do it like so well for me. I mean, I listen to podcasts for sure.
Yeah.
Today I was having the experience. I was like on a yoga retreat, and then I also had this like moon ritual going on at the same time. And something in me was just starting to get overwhelmed about content in general. I was just like, I can't. I was like, I cannot handle all this content right now. And I just needed to like lower the volume on things and like take out a notebook. Um, so sometimes Clubhouse is just like get in and I'm like, I mean, I get it. I do the same thing. Like I have these improvised conversations. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's like there's so much content around that it's a good reminder. Like, none of us need to be self conscious. Like, first and foremost, these things are about like healing, one on one connection. I like that people can join in. I think, these talks are a feeling of community often. And when they're not a feeling of community, it's like a one on one conversation where you're meeting someone. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's something you and I both did is just like whatever you can do to take the pressure off. Like for you, it was like not obsessing over metrics. Um, I remember the first Instagram live I did. It was like February 2020. It was like right in the pandemic. I'd never done an Instagram live. And at first it was like awkward. Like I was kind of like sweaty. And I got off and I thought like, oh my God, what did X, Y, and Z think? Da da da. And then you think about the X's who might see it and you go through all your layers. But when you keep doing something, it's just there's a healing process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you want to start?
I felt like people were all over the place and like disturbed. Like so many people were losing their jobs. And I was like, I personally don't have I'm like, I don't feel too scared to like activate and do something even when I don't know how to do it. So I felt like if I can be useful, if I can be like a place to give people a space to tell their stories and like connect to brands and connect to each other, I'm like, I'm down. I was like, I'll just help people out a little bit. And then I just made that weird commitment to do it 7 days a week. And now it's just like taken on this life of its own. And now I never want to give it up.
You're really good at it though.
Thanks.
You're such a great active listener.
Thank you.
Because I feel like everyone's always like waiting for their turn to speak. Like you just listen.
I think that's like, I got that from my mom. She's very like all my friends like talking to my mom because she's very like she'll listen and she'll be like and she what do you feel you got from your mom? You talked about your mom's mental illness, and I know we all have mental illness in our families. What are the good things you got from your mom?
Um, I think the fact that I'm nice, I got from my mom. My mom is a very sweet person. She talks to the garbage man, the postman, the the lawyer, the doctor, all the same way.
Cool.
I smile at everyone. I remember I lived in New York for a little bit. Shout out to Jazzy B, by the way. I just talked about her nails. Don't look at my nails, Jazz, but her nail line. But
Cool.
I I lived in New York for like a little bit, and I remember I smiled at everyone whenever I got on the train, and they're like, "What are you smiling for?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's just is that not we don't do that up here."
Sunshine. You're like
Yeah.
someone had said your ex Taylor had said that you are like a ray, you're a beacon of light in a hole of darkness.
Okay, he won't say that later, but
It does feel like that sometimes when we lose hope or we lose trust. Life can feel really dark, can it?
yeah,
And we get back to that sunshine. Um, we do get back to it.
trying to.
What do you do when you're feeling really? I ask almost everyone this question because I think it's so helpful. Like, what do you do when you're really sad to help yourself out?
I love a good cry.
Mm-hmm.
I like to picture myself like Rocky in the movies, and like I'll either go to the gym or I'll go for a run. I do a nice long cry with listening to my motivational video, and sometimes I'll record a video. If it's too much, if it's too heavy, if it's too hateful, I'll delete it. Most of the time I don't delete it though. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I allow myself to cry. It's something I tell myself, and I don't know if it's true or not. But I tell my friends this too, and I'm never gonna Google it to see if it's true or not. But sometimes I say it all the time, cry because it's good for your pores.
Nice. It is good for us. Um, I am so grateful that you said yes, that you came on.
I'm grateful that you invited me, dude. Like, you're a huge deal.
Oh, you're so delightful. Thank you so much. I hope people follow you. What's the next topic you're going to bring out that people could get into with you?
So like I was saying, tonight I'm posting on What's My Type. And then
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a really fun video though. Tomorrow I'm talking with Kamal Neme. He's a an entrepreneur, content creator. And then Saturday I'm hosting my second hip hop Taylor hip hop roundtable. I'm talking to rap artist Taylor Made's gonna be on there as well. It's gonna be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be talking about obviously music, lyricism, the stereotypes of rappers. So yeah, come check that out.
That's so interesting. So you're gonna have like, are you gonna do it on Instagram Live and just have like a bunch of people
it's
come in and out?
it's gonna be via my YouTube live. So you're gonna need to go to my YouTube channel, the Breakup Diaries.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, come with the question because I already told them these guys have temper. So I was like, yo, come with your drinks, come chilled out, you know?
That sounds so interesting. So it's gonna be hip hop, like the backstory of how people get into hip hop, how they feel when they're doing it. So if somebody's out there who wants to experiment with hip hop, and is this hip hop dance or is this
Rappers. I'm
rappers?
talking to 5 different rappers,
Okay.
yeah.
So if you want to get
Yeah.
into rapping, if you hear this Saturday, did you say 3:30 PT, 6:30 ET?
Yes.
Okay.
You're way better at this than me.
I always do that PT thing. So that's really cool on your YouTube channel. Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you
so
so
awesome.
much. You're so awesome. So fun to hang out with you.
Thank you. You have a good evening. Yes.
You too. Bye. Thanks to everyone.
Bye.
Bye.